Congratulations to Arizona State. They certainly played a whale of a ball game. The quarterback was outstanding. Osweiler, when he came in, we couldn't find the formula to stop him. And started out wonderfully. Our team was ready to play. Got off to a quick start, and unfortunately could not contain him. And the game got away from us. Really disappointed about not being able to punch it in there, 4th and inches. It was a turning point in the game, especially when they responded with a 99-yard drive. So we'll pick ourselves up, and we'll get back home, and we'll play hopefully a whale of a game in our finale next week against USC at the Rose Bowl. Questions?
Why not go under center for the fourth and goal?
Well, if we were going to run quarterback sneak, we would have. If you're going under center, it doesn't make any sense to be under center if you're running a zone play. We had a little jerk. We tried to pull it off, and it looked like there was enough room to make it. We were hoping Jetski was going to jump. That's why Jetski was in the game, because we talked to him about jumping, getting airborne and going over the top. And I don't understand. I don't know why he didn't do it. We talked about it on the sideline.
Most you guys have passed all season. I think Freehill might have set a record for them. Was that by design or just because of the way the game's going?
Well, we knew they were a very stout defense, and we wanted to make some plays down the field. And we took some shots and hit some and missed some. And, but then when the game got to be lopsided, then we had to throw. And so we took a lot of, tried to get it back in the game via the throw.
Is that maybe just that Richard's a different kind of quarterback than Kevin? Better at throwing the ball down the field?
I thought Richard looked good at times today. I thought this was a good game. This was a tough protection matchup for us, and I think had we been able to give him maybe a little bit more time, but the tackles were going to have hard times with some of their edge rushers. So he had to make plays getting out, and I thought it was a good performance. Disappointed that he doesn't get the win, but I thought he played pretty well.
With the bowl game not a possibility now, I mean, what do you point to and to show progress at this point?
Well, we're going to talk about playing our next game. Obviously, as I said at the outset of the season, we wanted to be in postseason again this year to keep the momentum. This is a little bit of a setback, but I think when the dust settles, we'll look and see exactly why we took the step back and what we could have done to avoid it, and we'll be a better program for it.
I was asking about the passing, just speaks sort of to the question of identity. I mean, you guys are all season you've been more of a running team. Today, 50-something passing points. Has this team ever kind of found what it is offensively, or?
Well, we hit the big run in the first drive of the game, and then we were getting a lot of second, 1- and 2-yard carries. It was, and again, because of the way they play, so many guys in the box, we had some one-on-one matchups that we were trying to exploit. And that's a very, very good defensive front seven. So we took where we thought our opportunities were. When you say an identity of an offense, the best offenses are the ones that have the ability to take what they give you, and that's what we were trying to do today.
Given your continuing optimism, when do you come to the conclusion you're just not up to Pac-10 standards at this time?
Well, we're not up to Pac-10 championship standards, that's a fact. But I still believe we've got an unbelievable freshman class and a couple classes stacked together. We're going to have to really evaluate, where we are as an offense and as a defense to see if we can play the schemes that we're playing with who we have, and then make some decisions as to how we go forward. But I do remain optimistic. I think the character of our kids is outstanding. I think the talent level, especially of our younger guys, is going to be on the run, especially all those freshmen that are playing and getting hard knock experience, but still experience. I just believe we're going to be a good team here very shortly.
But is your talent level right now on a par with basically the conference
that's a true statement, and we have to evaluate as to why. I think we've been dealt some unfortunate cards with respect to injuries. We haven't been able to build in the offensive line with any consistency because of injuries and defections, and so we've got to evaluate ourselves as to how we're going to put together a better football team as early as next week.
How much does this whole thing surprise you? I'm sure you were just sitting here where you are today 3 months ago would think you'd be in this position.
Well,
is it shocking? I mean,
if you read the prognosticators, now I said we would be a good football team because I believed it, but those who chose picked us in the bottom half of the conference, and I don't know how many times we've lined up and been the clear favorite in a game. I don't know. All I know is we're coming out trying to build something, trying to be better, and we're sometimes running into some closed doors, but we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep fighting, and we're going to get up, and we're going to rise up and play our best next weekend. And then we'll have a long off season to evaluate exactly how we go forward and be a better football team that can be in the top half of the Pac-10.
We can keep blowing winnable games. How much of that is talent level? How much of that is coaching?
Well, we all accept responsibility. I mean, I don't try to say it's somebody else's fault. It starts with me. I accept that. That's part of the job description.
Does this make postseason next year an absolute must? You can't have it 3 or 4 years.
We certainly want to be in postseason on a regular basis.
But then after being 2 of the last 3 years, you're not in it. You make it 3 out of 4. That would seem to be.
Chris, I understand that you're trying to get me to say something so you can hold me to it. I know exactly what your job is. My job is to do the very best we can with what we have and go out and continue to build what we have as best I can through recruiting. And I'm going to work as hard as I've ever worked in my life, as I have since I've been back to UCLA, to get the best and brightest players and so forth. Do we want to be in postseason next year? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you faced with some tough decisions, personnel this offseason, do you think?
Well, I'm going to do what every head coach does, is evaluate. I was asked at the press conference earlier in the week, I said that time is for when the season's over. Every waking moment from here till next Saturday night at 7:30 has got to be spent figuring out how to give ourselves the best possible chance to beat USC. And that's what I'm going to do. When that game is concluded, hopefully with a victory, we'll evaluate from top to bottom our program, as well as get into the brass knuckle game of recruiting.
The reason I asked about talent is because you couldn't have asked for a better situation. You stayed to a 17-0 lead in the first quarter.
Right.
So does that allow just talent to catch up to you as the day goes on?
Well, I have to look at the tape as to how they caught up, but they certainly caught up.